I'm Natalia Bonner. Welcome back. All right, I'm excited to share just a little sneak peek of a bit of machine quilting I recently did for my client Sandra. She's made some really amazing quilts and I get to custom machine quilt those for her. So in today's video, I am going to be showing how I quilt using my Sway machine quilting rulers to quilt out this fun point-to-point curved design. I am going to be using both my Sway 5 machine quilting ruler as well as my Sway 4 machine quilting ruler. Plus you'll see that I'm going to be using this long straight ruler that I purchased from the Quilted Pineapple and the Mark Begone marker to mark out and then quilt my design. I'm going to be doing all of my quilting here on my Gammill 22-inch machine. I will be stitching in the stitch regulated mode with my stitch length set at 13 stitches per inch. Now the thread that I'm going to be using here today, I'm going to stick with a nice pink So Fine number 418 on my top, and then in my bobbin I'm going to be using the pre-wound Super Bobs by Superior Threads. So today's video is going to be just a sneak peek, but I do have a brand new video available now in the Piece and Quilt Academy. You can enroll over on our website pieceandquilt.com, where I share my full process of custom machine quilting this entire quilt from start to finish. So you can find all the details plus enroll in the Piece and Quilt Academy over on our website pieceandquilt.com. But for now, let's get stitching. So here's this fun flower design after my machine quilting is all complete. If you look closely here, you can also see my markings. In today's video, I'll show you how to use the Sway 4 and the Sway 5 machine quilting ruler to quilt these point-to-point curves to bring this flower to life. I'm also going to be using the mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler to quilt those point-to-point curves around the outside of the flower. I love using a variety of rulers to bring designs to life. I'm going to start out here by doing a bit of marking. You can see here that I am using my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, the straight side on that ruler, and I'm marking a T through the center of my block. Then I'm also finding the center on those straight sides, and I'm also marking a point there that intersects each of those sides. I'll repeat that process on each of the square blocks throughout this quilt. Now in the intro, I did mention that long straight ruler by the Quilted Pineapple. I actually did switch and use that ruler for the rest of the marking through the quilt, but you could also use, like I'm showing here, the mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler for your markings. I'm using the blue Mark Begone marker for my markings. To stitch out this fun point-to-point design, you can see that I'm starting out using my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, which I do have our Piece and Quilt pop socket ruler grip on the top side of that ruler. I'll hold my machine quilting ruler so it's 1/4 of an inch away from my ditch. Next, I'm going to stitch in the ditch all the way around the outside of that square. Once my stitch in the ditch work is complete, then I'll rotate my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, and now I'm going to use the large curve on that ruler to stitch point-to-point curves all the way around the outside of the block, so through each of those outside triangles. When machine quilting with machine quilting rulers, always make sure that you're thinking about the space that's created from the needle position to the outside of the ruler, and you'll want to hold your ruler 1/4 of an inch away from where you want your thread to intersect. Once I've completed that first set of point-to-point curves, now I'm going to move and start that flower. I will be using here both the concave side and that circular end on the Sway 5 machine quilting ruler. So before I began machine quilting, I like to lay my rulers on my block and kind of audition them, see which size, which curve will fit best for my space. Here, the Sway 5 was perfect. Now you'll notice how I quilt out this design. I start by stitching from the outside to the center, and then I complete the curve point-to-point design on 3 sides, not going back to where I started yet. Once I've completed the 3, now I'm going to switch to the Sway 4 machine quilting ruler, where again I'll work back and forth between that circle end and the concave side of the ruler, stitching my point-to-point curves going out and coming back to the center each time. Now I'll finish off the design by stitching back out to the outside of the block for that final curve using the concave side of my Sway 5 machine quilting ruler. And that's it. I'll repeat that process through each of the blocks throughout this quilt. Now I do share my full process and how I work through the quilt and working on the other blocks over in the Peace and Quilt Academy. So don't forget to hop over to the Peace and Quilt Academy on our website, peaceandquilt.com, where you can enroll today. When you do enroll, not only do you gain access to this full Peace and Quilt Academy video, but also over 130 other videos. It is an amazing library full of inspiration. Have a great day, everybody.
I asked my dog what 2 minus 2 is. He said nothing.
I'm going to be using the pre-wound Super Bobs by Superior Threads. Whew, I can't breathe all of a sudden. Cold, go away. So today's video is going to be just a sneak peek, but I do